Introduction: The exhaustion of the unheard. We live in a world that demands a reaction. We are told that to be heard, we must speak louder. To be valued, we must give more. And to be understood, we must explain ourselves until we are blue in the face. But have you noticed that the more you explain, the less they listen? The more you chase, the faster they run? This is the exhaustion of the unheard. It happens when you give away your power by making your peace of mind dependent on someone else's response. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy practiced by emperors and slaves alike, offers a radical alternative. It teaches that your greatest weapon isn't your voice, but your silence. It's not about being cold. It's about being contained. Today, we explore how to step back, go silent, and let the world realize your worth through your absence.
1.
Silence as the ultimate position of strength. Most people use words as a shield, trying to protect their ego from being misunderstood. When someone attacks you, your instinct is to defend. But the Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, viewed this as a surrender. If you must defend yourself, you are admitting that the other person has the power to judge you. The deep dive: silence creates a vacuum. When you refuse to participate in an argument or a justification, the other person is forced to sit with their own words. Your silence acts as a mirror, reflecting their toxicity or irrationality back at them without you getting your hands dirty. It shows you are centered, that your internal state is a fortress they cannot breach. Emotional detachment: breaking the invisible leash. If someone can make you angry with a single sentence, they own you. They have a leash on your emotional state. Stoic detachment, or apatheia, isn't about feeling nothing. It's about the gap between a stimulus and your response. The deep dive: imagine your emotions are like a wild horse. If you let the horse lead, you'll end up in the woods. Detachment is the act of stepping into the role of the rider. When you detach, you aren't ignoring the situation. You are observing it objectively. You realize that someone's disrespect is a reflection of their character, not a statement on your worth. By detaching, you cut the leash. 3. Reclaiming the circle of control. We suffer because we try to control the uncontrollables: other people's feelings, the past, and the future. Epictetus taught that the only thing we truly own is our will and our intentions. The deep dive: when you focus on why she isn't responding or why they don't see your value, you're pouring your water into a bucket with a hole in the bottom. Reclaiming control means pulling that energy back into your own circle. Spend that mental currency on your fitness, your career, and your character. When you stop trying to control others, you ironically become the most influential person in the room because you are the only one who is truly self-governed.
4.
The irresistibility of the ghost. There is a psychological law: scarcity creates value. When you are always available, always texting back immediately, and always there, you become a background noise. You are a commodity, not a prize. The deep dive: disappearing isn't a game of hard to get. It's a process of self-prioritization. When you go silent to focus on your own growth, you stop being a predictable element in someone else's life. This creates a shift in the power dynamic. They are forced to confront the reality of life without your energy. If your presence didn't teach them, your absence will. The mercy of consequences. We often think we are being kind by fixing people's mistakes or shielding them from the results of their bad decisions. Stoicism suggests this is actually a form of ego. You are playing God, trying to prevent the natural laws of cause and effect. The deep dive: let her face her decisions. If someone chooses to walk away, let them walk. If someone chooses to disrespect you, let them feel the coldness that follows. By stepping in to save the situation, you prevent the other person from hitting the rock bottom they might need to actually grow. True respect for another human being is allowing them to own their mistakes.
6.
Rebuilding in the dark room. When we go through a breakup or a failure, our first instinct is to post about it, to seek validation that we are the victim or that we are doing great. This is performative healing, and it's shallow. The deep dive, real transformation happens in the dark room of silence. Like a photograph being developed, you need the darkness to become clear. When you rebuild in silence, you aren't performing for an audience. You are doing the hard, ugly work of fixing your own flaws. When you finally emerge, you don't have to tell people you've changed. They will feel the weight of your new character.
7.
Emotion as an advisor, not a king. Stoics weren't robots. They felt pain, anger, and love. However, they treated these feelings like advisors in a court. An advisor might say, "This person is being unfair," but the king, the mind, decides if it's worth a war. The deep dive, most people live in a state of emotional monarchy, where the feeling of the moment dictates the life of the person. To reclaim power, you must emote your emotions. When you feel a surge of anger, don't suppress it, analyze it. Ask, why does this bother me? Is it my pride? Is it a true threat? Once you analyze the emotion, it usually loses its power over you. An O response, the ultimate finality. We are conditioned to think the last word is the winner of the argument. In reality, the person who needs the last word is the one who is the most insecure. They need the external win to feel okay. The deep dive, no response is a response. It is the loudest one possible. It says, "Your attempt to provoke me is so insignificant that it doesn't even warrant the energy required to speak." It ends the cycle of drama instantly. While the other person is waiting for a reaction to fuel their next attack, your silence leaves them starving for attention. You win by refusing to play. Conclusion: the new you. The goal of going silent isn't to punish others, though they may feel it that way. The goal is to protect yourself. By adopting these Stoic responses, you shift from being a reactor to being a creator. You stop being a leaf blown by the wind of other people's moods and start being the mountain that remains unmoved. She may not have expected you to go silent forever, but she also didn't expect you to find a version of yourself that no longer needs her validation. That is the ultimate Stoic victory, finding a peace that the world didn't give you, and therefore, the world cannot take away.